In this video, I'm going to show you what's new in the EMUI 9 update that is based out of Android Pie. And I will also be sharing my experience with this update, which will consist the major portion of this video. So let's get started. First of all, I'm using the Honor Play for this review kind of a thing. And first of all, the major change that you will notice is there in the recents. So the recents have now become vertical, and so let's start from the bottom. Now there are some system navigation features. Some of these were already present in Android Oreo as well, but let's have a look at it. You have gesture based navigation here as well. You can press you can swipe from the left and right to go back. You can go home by this usual feature that's written here. You can just swipe up, and you can swipe up and hold for recent tasks. So that's pretty interesting. And there's also a shortcut for Google Assistant as shown here in the video. There's also the option for single key navigation. So you can tap on it to go back. For home screen, hold and press. For recent tasks, just hold and swipe it right or left. And for the Google app, as you can see here, swipe up from the edge of the screen to launch the Google app. And you can even hide this. The auto hide navigation feature will be useful to make the apps full screen. Right now I use this 3-key navigation. I like it. As you can see, you can hide it. This gestures thing has kind of an issue with the Nova launcher, so that's why I'm using this 3-key navigation. The issue there is that, well, the gestures don't really work well when you press to go home with Nova launcher. This issue is only with the Nova launcher enabled. It opens up the recents and then it goes to home, so it's a little bit annoying, so I switched it. Now let's move on. You have backup and restore here. You can back up your data and restore it using the Huawei app as well. You have smart assistant, one touch, one-handed mode is there. You can shift the keyboard. And there's even a gloves mode. So some of these features were already present in the previous version of EMUI, and this is a feature that was definitely not there. This is the digital balance. It helps you balance, say, your mobile and work life. A lot of you spend a lot of time on smartphones and you may be concerned by it. I'm not, so I've not really enabled it. But if you are concerned, you can set time limits on it. As you can see, here is my time duration, last 7 days. As you can see, I play a lot of PUBG. So these are the things that it shows. These are all the apps. Unlock frequency once every 13 minutes. You can enable screen time management. Here you can set up additional controls for the phone. You can get notified when you have crossed certain screen on time for the day, and it will notify you that, oh, you set the 6-hour limit and now you're crossing it. So you will get that notification, so you know that you have already spent more than 6 hours for the day. And there's even a performance mode here that was not present in the audio version of this ROM, and it is pretty useful and you might need it. So now coming on to the shortcomings of this update. So the biggest issue that everyone is having with this update and wanting to switch back is that it's a very annoying thing. The memory management is very poor here. So let's say that you're writing an email on Gmail. Now you get a WhatsApp. You open WhatsApp, and when you come back, you should be able to resume the email, right? Oh, well, that's wrong. The app closes in the background. And memory management here is very poor. That's something that generally does not happen. That generally happens when you open up a lot of games, and only then the apps close in the background for a smartphone having 4 gigs of RAM. But with this update, you are having that issue, and it is very, very, very annoying. But there is some respite here. Now this is the app launch feature. You can actually manage here, as you can see, which app can run in the background. So I have disabled all of the apps access to run in the background except a few. like the messaging apps that are important to me, like WhatsApp. Now with this, the memory management has become better, and there is the option for percentage to be shown in the status bar, as you can see. But the battery life overall is pretty decent for me. It is as good as Oreo in my opinion. And there's even the option of smart resolution. You can auto adjust it depending on the screen. The phone will adjust whether to use HD plus or full HD plus. So I've enabled that, and when it is on 720p, the battery usage is better, and even for some reason the decent app management is better that I had mentioned before, like apps closing in the background, that becomes better when you are using the 720p. So we have had, and another surprise here, another shortcoming I might say with this update. Huawei has now made Facebook a system app here. So Facebook installer and these kinds of things has been made system apps by Facebook for some reason. So there was a lot of bloatware here, and I have disabled some of it. So you have, as you can see, Facebook app installer is a system processor. So it's really difficult to get rid of Facebook if you haven't disabled it. So if you don't use Facebook, do make sure to disable it, because Facebook and Instagram are the most power intensive, data intensive things that are out there. And if you don't use Facebook, you should definitely disable these, because with this Facebook automatically updates their app and installs it. So it's kind of annoying for me. And you had the feature of app twin here. It is available for WhatsApp and Snapchat only for me. Third-party apps may give you more freedom, and while you're trying to change the default launcher, there are some issues. Like I was trying to change Nova launcher initially, and it gave my smartphone an error for some reason. I don't know why. I tried installing and reinstalling it, and the error just kept popping up. But after a couple of uninstalls and reinstalls, I was able to use the Nova launcher. So that's pretty decent. Now, most of the other things are pretty much the same. And yes, as you can see, the panel for sound has changed. Here it is. You can change things here. So yeah, it opens up the settings here. But all the time when you increase or decrease the volume, it's the media volume. So it comes in pretty handy when you quickly want to mute it. And you have some batch management actions for the notifications, app icon batches, that kind of stuff. So overall, my impression for this update, and whether you should update to EMUI 9 Android Pie, especially on Honor Play or not, well, in my opinion, I think you should stick to Android Oreo if you are on Honor Play, because a lot of people are having issue with the Android Pie, like memory management thing. The solution that I showed is only temporary, and it has its downsides. And on Android Oreo, people like the overall memory management and stability of it. And even under the camera settings, it enables auto portrait mode. And so far I haven't been able to hide the portrait mode or disable the portrait mode. It just auto enables. So I might have to dive deeper to take care of it. But for me overall, I think it was a decent choice to upgrade, because the only app I care about running in the background is WhatsApp, and I disabled every other app, so it didn't affect me much. But initially, when I hadn't found that solution, it gave me huge headache while playing PUBG. Yeah, and talking about PUBG, I have faced more issues with PUBG on Android Pie, because app restarts for some reason on performance mode also. The app just restarts out of nowhere, and there are issues like ground disappearing beneath my feet, and the other person not being able to hear my sound, or app lagging. Those were some of the issues for me on Android Pie that were not there earlier. But one improvement I have seen from Android Oreo in the Android Pie update is that picture-in-picture mode has become definitely better for me here. So that's something I liked, because the picture-in-picture mode was a little troublesome for me on Android Oreo. So those are my overall impressions for this Android Pie EMUI 9. So what do you think about this update? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know whether you have upgraded to Android Pie or not. And so that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.